Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures in Wallstreet. I'm excited about today because today is really not going to be much of a financial show, as it is more of a conceptual show and more of discernment. Basically, I had a dream late last year, and I've been pondering on it and just praying about it, and didn't know if it was me just speculating. Didn't know if it was just me like being emotional. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I didn't know if I could trust my dream or not. And then I started creating a belief system and finding evidence on it. And I want to share that today. And for many people watching this, I'll tell you right up front, if you haven't been watching me for years, you'll never understand what I'm trying to say, and or maybe over your head. And that's okay. We welcome you as well. Um, a lot of people may not like what I'm about to say, and that's okay too. This is completely speculation, and this is basically views, right? I'm allowed to have views. I feel that God gives me discernment, and He speaks to me in dreams. He speaks to me in those quiet moments, and I would like to share something that is going to literally be like a needle through uh, or threading the needle, I would say. So, what I wanted to talk about today was the silver rush and why is it so much in demand. And I have this PDF I would like to share. This PDF basically kind of outlines what I've been thinking in the past 6 months, actually, a few years now. I just didn't know how to put it on paper as of recent, up until now. So, I put all my thoughts on paper and just kind of collecting my observation. That's the great word I want to say. Observation. So funny, I just got a cold advisory on my computer on my podcast. It's cold advisory here in Florida. It's already snowing like in a panhandle. Sorry, my ADD just kicked in. Um, but throughout all of this, the cross wins. You see, a lot of people go on podcasts and they talk, oh man, that, this is happening. Oh man. And then it creates like a fear. It creates like a uncertainty. It creates a doubt. But they never give you a solution. They never say, okay, what do we got to do? Okay, we got to buy a solar panel. Oh, we got to buy silver. We got to buy precious metals. Oh, we got to buy a lifetime of dry food that will last for 30 years. Is that really going to help you? Or is it a Band-Aid? What I want to talk about today is the attack on us, but also teach you and show you how to put the armor on so that you and your family could live eternally. What is about to come shouldn't scare you. It should just prepare you. And maybe that's what God is trying to tell us in all of these things. That every knee shall bow, every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. And when He wrote those words, He really meant it, because at the end of the day, you won't have a choice. So you might as well go ahead and get started now. Acknowledge that Jesus Christ is Lord, period. Not Muhammad, not the energies and the frequencies, not Joseph Smith, not Elaine White, not Mary, but Jesus Christ is Lord. There are no other gods other than Him. You don't need to wear a special garment. You don't need to learn a secret handshake inside of a temple that looks like a Masonic lounge. You don't need to go on a 2-year mission. You don't need to think that other people, the Gentiles, are animals. This is not what God intended. And I really mean that. So, guys, what I'm about to share is a track tracer control agenda. I bought tracktracercontrol.com. Believe it or not, it was available, and I couldn't believe it. I'm going to build some information on it. That might be financial, that might not, but I'm going to start a whole nother messaging campaign just on that. I couldn't believe that site was open. I own it now. because I have years and years of thoughts I could put on that website. So stay tuned to that. I also got some other cool websites I'm building that you guys are not going to believe. I'm really excited about it, and I won't talk about it now, but it is coming. So what I do want to discuss real quick is that this PDF I want to share is pretty deep, man. It's pretty deep. So let's just go ahead and get started. Also, let me share my disclosure here. Everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. If you would like investment advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446. I'm not giving investment advice on this podcast. This podcast is only for information and education purposes only. Also, if you would like to if anything I say today resonates with you, you can go to cortezwm.com, scan the QR code, and book an appointment. And I will be happy to give you retirement advice on your current situation. And we are slammed. So the more the merrier. We're excited to be on the same page as you. Like most advisors, they don't talk like this. Most people don't understand the underlaying of really what's going on from a biblical standpoint, from spiritual eyes, and actually have the financial experience to take advantage of what's going on. So today I want to talk about the track, trace, and control agenda. If you pull up this PDF, I basically scaled it in 4 different components. The first one is tokenization phase, and this would be the track phase. So what does this look like? Financial, location, your health, online behavior, real world actions converted into standardized data points, your output, behavioral data tokens. So as we see tokenization becoming a real thing, you saw that Larry Fink this is not conspiracy. This is actually really happening right now. The tokenization process. Tokenization converts real-world value, behavior, identity, and programmable digital units. One tokenized, access and ownership and permissions can be automated, restricted, revoked without human discretion. You ever feel like you're ever being watched? You ever feel like when you have Facebook Messenger on your phone, or if you have Instagram on your phone, or any type of social media on your phone, there's all these disclosures that you have to literally, like, it's almost like a DocuSign. You have to keep on scrolling, and then in order to create an account or use the app, you have to like hit this button and boom, boom, boom. I have to read it. Boom. All right, just give me the stupid app so I can message my friend. You literally just gave your consent for them to own and fabricate and utilize your own data. That includes your microphone, your camera, all the messaging. They are encrypting it, and they're discovering things about you and putting it on a chip. Keep that in mind. So what this basically means is tokenization is a process where they digitize everything. I said this example back in 2023 when I bought my father-in-law a car. I thought I was getting like this paper document. Hey, you own the car. Here's the lien. You're the lien holder, right? Here's the like back in the day, the bonds. Like if you own bonds, your bearer bonds. They're still out there, by the way. And if you have them, I know what to do with them. Give us a call. I'll help you. But bearer bonds back in the day, the paper. If you own the paper, you actually own the bond. You own the bond. So whoever bear the paper actually owned the particular asset. And so back in the day, you used to put it in your safety deposit box and you would pass it on. They will be there for years, 20, 30 years. People forget about them and they're worth millions and millions of dollars, even shares. Bearer form. Those have been basically extinct or they're like a rare species right now on the watch list, but they're still out there. It's the same thing that what's happening here. Tokenization gets rid of all the bearer bonds, gets rid of all paper form. There will be no paper. Everything's digital and on a blockchain. And the blockchain which is already here. This is not conspiracy. This is actually happening right now. Like everything is on a blockchain, everything. So all the data that you are putting into with your phone, your electronics, your surveillance, pretty much everything that you can do will be tokenized. The one thing, the safest thing that I would say is your insurance products. Anything associated to your life, they cannot tokenize. They can't tokenize your right to your home. They can't tokenize your wedding band. They can't tokenize precious metals, even though they're going to try to do it. And I'll explain how that works. They can't tokenize your life insurance. They can't tokenize things that are associated with your life because you're protected by contract law. So you would have to sign all this paperwork for them to tokenize your life insurance, your annuities, your green money, and also your managed accounts. So I'll talk about that shortly. But this is the invisible layer. I want you to understand that tokenization is an invisible layer that you're not hearing about, no one's talking about it. And it's happening right underneath your eyes. It is like parasites. You have parasites in your body and you wake up sick, you're craving sugar. Cancer craves sugar. So if you have a sweet tooth, you might be fueling a possible cancer in your body. I'm not a doctor, it's just common sense. But that's what they say. And the way to get rid of it is just completely staying hydrated. Drink a lot of water. And the reason why I'm a big proponent about it is because I love AmericaFirstWater.com. This is where we can get non-fluorinated water. They use platinum plates to electrify the water and it cleans it. And you actually absorb the nutrients in the water. This is why people in Japan, they walk and they drink clean water and they live forever, right? I mean, it's not uncommon for people to live up to 100. So go to AmericaFirstWater.com, get you a machine. They're not cheap, but you will live a healthier life. My mother is on it. I have one in my home, in my mom's house, and she has arthritic pain. She also was diabetic, and she has a lot of stomach issues, and it helps with gastric problems. And guess what? My mom was just here, and we just celebrated a 70th birthday. So the doctor said she wouldn't live past 65 because she had a quadruple bypass in her late 50s. So my mom wasn't healthy, and she has been through a transformation process over the past 10 years. So I love my mom. Mommy, I love you. Happy birthday. And thank you for coming down. I owe everything to you and Jesus. I love you so much, Mom. One cool story about my mom is she always believed in me. I told her one day that I wanted to be a financial guy on Wall Street. I didn't know what a stockbroker was. And she didn't have a lot of money. Man, this chokes me up. She she wanted me to look good in the interview. And she was just a secretary at the time when my dad was working as a welder, a pastor, and a drill sergeant. And back in the day, we used to go to Sears all the time. And I would run as a kid, I would run through the Sears men's department to look at these cool suits. And I would always love the way suits look. And for my interview when I graduated college, I didn't have a lot of money. My mom had a Sears card, I think she had like $200 on it or something. And she bought me a suit. She maxed it out just so I can go on this interview with, it was New York Life at the time. And I didn't know anything. I just thought it was an awesome financial company at the time. My mom originally was from New York, from the Bronx. And at that time, it was very prestigious to work for a big company. Well, I went on an interview with this suit from not JCPenney, from Sears. It was this Stratford, and it was just like a lower end nice suit. I looked like a trash bag, but it was the best my mom could do at the time. I went on this interview, and this gentleman named Michael loved it, and he said, "Man, I want you to get your license, and this is like a family." So, anyways, they actually hired me, and then I got a call from another company. I said, "Hey, you don't want to sell life insurance. You want to work in stocks." And he was right. So I became a stockbroker. I took that job. But my mother basically gave me a suit because that's what she could afford. And if you guys know me, I love suits. I love Italian suits. But it was just like this raggedy, I loved it. I wish I still had it today. And my mom also bought me books for my exams so I could study. She invested in me. She took covering. And so the moral of the story is believe in your children, even if it's to your last dollar. And it's just that mother sacrifice they do for their children. That is so beautiful. How much more does Jesus sacrifice himself for us? Anyways, it just hit home. I'm sorry I got off track about the track, trace, and control agenda. But the reason why I brought that up is because we have real world issues right now. Like, you don't see it. You don't see what's happening as you drive by a drive-through and they scan you. This is a whole nother ball game, but I want you to understand that this whole agenda that we're living right now, as you're going around and about, is tracking your financial information. It is tokenizing your location, your health, your online behavior. All this is getting into a data point, a tokenization process, a memory, a chip, a data center. They're going to use this to trace us. So what does trace look like? Well, as you get on an airplane, there's a digital ID now. There's a Fed Now program. There's behaviors that are literally creating patterns. And to seal it all, there's biometrics. There's device control, and there's behavioral fingerprints. You know, when you get in your car and you use your Apple CarPlay or your Google Maps, it already knows where you're going because of the patterns. So understand, this is going to get worse. In order for them to track, trace, and control you, they need these puppies. They need silver. Silver right now, you can't get it. You really can't get it. It's the mountains are so thin in Bolivia that it is dangerous to even mine for silver anymore because it's all cleaned out. It's running out. The U.S. mints can't even produce it anymore. They're uncomfortable of offering it anymore, and they're halting it because the price has skyrocketed so much they can't even fulfill the future contracts because of error.
This mountain in Bolivia used to hold the most silver in the world. But over the last 500 years, miners have dug out nearly every last bit. Indigenous people were forced into this work by Spanish colonizers in the 1500s. Generations later, it's the only job they know.
No tengo miedo, yo soy Desde jovencito, desde mi juventud he trabajado.
These days, the men mostly find zinc, tin, and lead. But the non-stop mining has left this 15,000-foot mountain porous and unstable.
If you look at aerial photos of the mountain, you can see what looks like giant holes in the tip of the mountain just from cave-ins.
The extinct volcano is infamously known as the mountain that eats men.
Es agotadores, no se puede aguantar, pero nosotros aguantamos.
So why do so many people risk their lives inside a mountain on the brink of collapse? And why has so little changed for them since colonial times? At 13,000 feet, Potosi is one of the highest cities on the planet. Cerro Rico, or Rich Mountain, towers over it. It made Potosi the wealthiest place in Latin America back in the 16th century. Today, it's one of the poorest. Luciano lives at the base of the mountain with his wife in a one-room house. There's no heat, just electricity and a stove for cooking. Luciano is semi-retired. But to make ends meet, he still mines once or twice a week. About 40% of Potosi's residents work in mining-related jobs. And nearly half of the population lives in extreme poverty, more than 3 times the national average. After 10 minutes, the bus drops Luciano at the mine. He stocks up on alcohol, and he buys coca leaves that give him energy. Then he buys sticks of dynamite to use later. There are nearly 500 mines in here, but many are abandoned. After entering the mine, Luciano first makes an offering to El Tío, or the uncle.
Bueno, Tío Benito.
Some historians believe the Spanish installed statues of the devil to scare the workers and instill discipline.
Tantos años que estamos trabajando aquí adentro, con tu protección, no, aquí adentro no me hagas sufrir, que me vaya bien siempre. Las vetas también.
Legend has it that in 1544, an indigenous farmer called Diego Hualpa discovered silver here while looking for his lost llamas. But it's the Spaniards who excavated most of it when they conquered Potosi in the 16th century. European engravings show how they forced more than 13,000 local indigenous peoples and enslaved Africans to work at the mines. Over the next 200 years, more than 40,000 tons of silver were shipped to Europe. Across the Spanish Empire, silver bars and coins were used as currency, funding the army and churches. Hundreds of years later, Bolivia's state mining company Comibol took over Cerro Rico. And when the price of silver dropped drastically in the 1980s, Comibol handed the mountain over to the indigenous people of the region. Currently, about 16,000 miners work here. They're descendants of the same indigenous communities who toiled here centuries ago. 65 miles of tunnels connect the mountain. These rails were installed between the 16th and 19th centuries. And miners still use simple tools like a chisel and hammer to extract ore.
Otros trabajan con manos, otros no. Yo no caso de eso. Siempre será mis manitos que será. Mis manos serán fuertes.
Today, Luciano's chipping away at a vein of tin, which is black in color.
Aquí está. Esto ya me sirve a mí.
But to find bigger pieces, he has to go deeper into the mountain's unexplored corners. For that, he needs dynamite.
Si no hay esto, no recibimos no podemos sacar ningún trozo de mineral de esta piña. Entonces, esto voy a meter al agujero que está al huequito, ahí lo voy a taquear fuertecito, entonces ahí va a reventar, lo va a botar a esta piña.
Luciano has to act fast since he's competing with other miners.
Por otro lado, con perforación al trabajo, rápido lo pelean, listo, que tú ahí pelean.
He moves nearly 200 feet away after setting off the dynamite.
Ya está.
Workers collect the broken rocks into sacks that can weigh up to 90 pounds. An elevator pulls the minerals up to where the mining carts are. The fatality rate inside small-scale mines like these is 90% higher than in industrialized countries.
Fuertes que somos, no sentimos así por así, ni el dolor, un poquito nos rasmillamos, no pasa nada, ya, seguimos.
Many miners contract silicosis, a deadly lung disease caused by constant exposure to dust, usually after 10 years of working inside the mine. Luciano was hospitalized for over a year because of it.
De todo ya lo siento, no estoy ya en mi cabalidad como antes, ya no trabajo. Tengo agitación hasta de mis vistas.
Luciano is 52, but most workers don't live past the age of 40. Luckily, he gets health insurance because he's part of one of the many cooperatives that control the mines.
They're going to move to platinum. They're going to move to try to copper. And they're going to start reconfiguring these chips where they take all types of metals. Silver is a great metal conductor, but what will happen is they'll start to utilize other things. Silver will be the new gold. Gold's too expensive to use as a conductor. Anyways, the track is happening, right? The tracking is happening, whether you realize it or not. The trace. So the trace is interesting. As we have smart cities, as we have self-driving cars, Scanalytics, you go to Busch Gardens or Universal or Disney or any popular event, even football stadiums, you'll notice that there's face recognition software everywhere. The biometrics is real. When you go to Whole Foods and scan your palm, they already have your biometrics. Every time you FaceTime or Google call, all this is not safe. It literally has your eyes. Anything you do online, your face is scanned. Once your face is online, it's there forever. So this is why I say I'm the captain of my ship, because they have everything on me. I'm just here to share my opinion that God has given me. I'm just here to sound alarm. I make no money on this podcast. I do this out of the goodness of my heart. I do this because I want to share my discernment, my views, and I don't mind the heat. I get heat everywhere. I'm built for this. And more importantly, I care more about your financial situation than most people from a biblical standpoint. My father's a pastor. God has given him a heart to serve. This is me serving as sounding an alarm. I care about people in their financial situation. If you don't do something, the market will do something for you, and it's not in your favor. It's to your detriment, in my belief. And I'm tired of God-fearing people trusting the Dave Ramseys of the world, trusting these clowns out there just because they have money doesn't make them smart or make them their advice right for you. So the score, I want to introduce obviously the traits. So we have the biometrics, we have data points, devices, behavioral fingerprints, disk analytics. There's no anatomy. It's just no reset. So it's no anonymity. There's no reset. So then we have what's called the score. And this was all being connected on a segment with Stu. I couldn't believe it. It was just like, whoa. So we have this score. What is a score? Well, in China, there is a credit score system. There is it's called a social credit score system. There is a situation where you are given a credit score system. And this credit score system is not just on financial. It literally is a system where it's a social credit score. The banks use it, the transportation services, the government uses it to dictate your freedoms. Oh, he has a great social credit score. He's going to be invited to the emperor's dinner party or the gala. He has a great credit score. He's going to be invited to have first dibs on the flight to Beijing or out of the country. You have a good social credit score, you're going to get the best tax breaks. You have a good social credit score, you're going to get first dibs on all the weaponized pharmaceuticals. It's basically having the same rights as a Native American, where you have first dibs to everything. You do no wrong. You have your own reservation. You have your own deals. You have your own laws. This is what the credit score, in my opinion, social credit score system could be. There would be no freedoms. Freedoms would be conditional. Freedoms would be given to you. And guess what? If you don't like that, we already have your behavior patterns. We already have all the control because we know where you're at. We know where your safety measures are at. We know your patterns. We know what you post online. There's no hiding. Oh, and by the way, we're going to consider you a divergent. And those divergents will be, I don't know, maybe with the Mormons in Utah at some concentration camp. I have no idea. They're going to be into a program where you can self-heal or learn to be compliant. This is what I see happening. I know this sounds crazy and I'm speculating, but I have a right to speculate. I have a right to talk about it. But I really feel that the social credit score is going to come in. This is why silver is off the charts. This is why AI is so embraced. It is going to be used against us. Now, I'm not anti-AI. I'm just saying that they are going to use the AI to track, trace, and control us. I see it in the financial sides. I see it pretty much everywhere. More importantly, our children are going to be indoctrinated with this. This is not a conspiracy, but the University of Utah, the University of Exeter, the University of Sunnybrook, New York, has courses on these things. And let me look it up. Arizona State University critically examined transhumanism as a set ideas. Oh, I'm sorry. So what I'm getting at is this is going to introduce transhumanism even more. If you do not oblige, if you do not obey, they're going to create chips. And maybe, and just maybe, there will be these chips where they can implant in your brain where you can program differently because you are divergent. And if you want back into the banking system, if you want back into the healthcare system, if you want back into society, you can wear this chip in your brain. Maybe it's not surgically implanted, maybe it's a wearable, I don't know, but this is how they can track, trace, and control you. They've ran an experiment with credit scores. What is a credit score? Well, a credit score is just that. A credit score you cannot do any commerce without. You can't buy a home, you can't buy a car, you can't even get solar panels on your roof. You can't even get insurance without them checking your credit score. You can't rent a home. There's a lot of things that the credit score system does, and it's a beta test. Don't believe me? Then why is Experion? Experion means experiment. TransUnion means transhumanism. Equifax means you have equity in the social credit court system. Why are those three bureaus so semantically correlated with those words, with the track, trace, and control? Experimental, transhumanism, and equity. I'm just curious. Or is it new belief supporting my evidence? I don't know. That's how Satan works. He likes to mock using blunt words, just like Disney does, and code, just like all these nefarious things that are in front of our face that is coded like that. Anyways, Arizona State University critically examined transhumanism as a set ideas about humans integrating with technology and what that means for humanity, identity, and evolution, including projects exploring challenges raised by transhumanism in collaboration with the Interdisciplinary Research Center. The Center of Study of Religion and Conflict has hosted lectures on whether advances in technology would lead to extraordinary transhuman beings and what sort of society such futurists envision, directly placing transhumanism in academic discussion of science, religion, and society values. ASU also offers a graduate course like Bio 611, Ethics of Human Enhancement, where students study ethics and social implications of emerging human enhancement technologies. University of Utah has a course called Transhumanism, the Next Stage of Human Evolution. Stony Brook University has HCB 524. Transhumanism presents transhumanism within the broader context of historical and ethical debate. Posthumanism philosophy courses by New York University has workshops on posthuman and transhumanism ethics. So what this basically tells us is that calling transhumanism is no longer a conspiracy. This is real, y'all. This is real. This is happening. They're studying how to change your brain electronically. That should sound the alarm tremendously. So I'm saying all this is because what is the solution here? Well, I leave to you with some scriptures. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. John 14:27. The track trace system is here, and it's through control. But as you understand that Jesus offers peace without surveillance, that's not passive peace, it's sovereign peace. Colossians 2:10, and you have be filled in him who is the head of rule and authority. Your identity is complete and not scored. You are fully acknowledged by God, and no algorithm is needed. What I love about God's grace is that it is internal, it is relational, and it's peace based, not compliance based. And my favorite, Luke 17:20, the kingdom of God is not coming with signs to be observed, but behold, the kingdom of God is with you. Jesus didn't build a system that watches you, he built the kingdom that lives in you. Where the world seeks peace through control, Jesus gives peace through trust. And so, as we go into this new era of 2026, you'll notice that there's more track, trace, and control. I want you guys to understand now is the time to have a kingdom mindset. Now is the time to not have the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and sound mind. It is time to prepare now. I don't care if you think you're crazy or I'm crazy. It is time to have our antennas up and acknowledge that, hey, this is coming. This is here. Your bank has already been CBDC'd. The market is being manipulated. The cost of silver is truly not the paper cost anymore. In Japan and in Asia, it's over $130 an ounce. It's being suppressed here. We understand that Bank of America and Chase have been selling naked contracts on the futures market in the billions, suppressing silver. Now, this is a standard thing that they do in order to basically pull income from the bank for themselves. Sorry. So I don't want to speculate on that, but it does remind me of AMC and GameStop back, 5 years ago. We all knew how that ended. But guys, the markets will be volatile. People will get back into the markets. The S&P will grow. The NASDAQ is probably going to grow another 20, 30% this year. And we have solutions to take advantage of it. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. We have amazing solutions. I am just really stressing that if you want to participate in the market and you don't want to lose, then give us a call immediately. 813-448-3446. There are ways and solutions, financially speaking, that we can take care of you and protect you from these nasty track, trace, and control agendas. Also, the volatility index is going to skyrocket. We already have signs in the markets that it could come down. I have technical analysis I don't have time to get into today. I really don't want to get into the charts. I just wanted to talk about this because it was so heavy, and I have so much evidence to literally back up this belief system, this discernment. Again, everything I'm saying is me speculating and discerning. I'm not giving investment advice. You can call me crazy. I could care less. I really feel that the track, trace, and control agenda is here. And it could be just a switch, guys. It could be a switch on the banks. It could be a switch on the grid. It just could be a switch. They have it so down and perfected that is down to a switch. So be very careful out there. I don't want you guys to fear. I want you to put the full armor of God on. It's time to confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Let us walk away from our sin, confess that he is real. Let us repent, and he will heal our land. We don't need to be track, trace, and control. You can do everything you want, but are you doing that out of fear, or are you doing that out of preparation, is what I'm getting at. Do we trust the money in our bank account more than we trust God's word? Or are we truly, truly giving our hearts to God? We worry about money. Money is the easiest part. I could grow your money. That's what I'm good at. I can protect your money. That's what I'm good at. But what we need to understand is that converting our hearts to Him is truly, truly trusting Him. And I don't know what that looks like for you. For me, walking away from temptation, sin, constantly picking up the cross, acknowledging that I'm a sinner, being vulnerable with my family, understanding that I will be attacked the more I grow closer to Him, understanding that problems will come, but I still have to acknowledge Him. I love you guys, and I want you to understand that this is real. This is not fairy tale anymore. This is something that you guys have to understand, that the track trace control agenda is here, and it's time to get our portfolios right. It's time to get our house right, and it's time to grow. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. Now, I wanted to say something real quick about an event. A lot of you have witnessed my transformation over the past few years. One of the things I have blamed is a group called Rise Up Kings. I wear this band, and this is not a commercial for them. This is really me sharing my heart. Rise Up Kings is a personal development program for Christian men that believe in faith, family, fitness, and finance. Everybody's like, "Hey, Carlos, how'd you make it? How'd you make it? You know, where you're just like attractive and your business is blowing up and you have a family and you're getting fit and like all these things." And I didn't even know I was doing that. I just wanted to learn to do the hard things. So when I got asked to speak in front of 1,000 financial advisors, they wanted to know what was I doing that made me successful. And I basically said, I went in the woods and I asked 3 questions. I asked, God, what do you want me to know? Why was I created? And show me what I need to do. Those 3 things. And I just went out like Moses did on top of a mountain and really just sought his face. And one of the programs that I'm about to tell you about, this is not a commercial for them, but if you are a husband, if you're a business owner or not a business owner, it doesn't matter. But if you are a man watching this and you want to level up and you're tired of failing in Christianity, failing in your marriage, failing in your business, failing in your health, failing in your family, and you know who you are, there's a reason why you're failing. There's a reason why you think Christianity is a hoax or it's not working for you or it's a hamster wheel. April 14th through 16th, I'm inviting you to come to Tampa. It's a 3-day transformational event. I want you to click this QR code and you can become the husband, the father, and the man of God that you were created to be. It's the most impactful, faith-based, personal development, business intensive on the planet. I promise you that. There's so much I can talk about it, but if you are willing to hug the cactus and go through a little bit of pain, the other side of pain is victory, peace, comfort, and wealth. So click the link below. If there is a link, there's definitely a QR code on this graphic. You can scan the QR code and just go ahead and register. Let them know that Carlos Cortez sent you, another Rise Up Kings brother. You will be with another group of men that are going through similar problems. If you don't want to grow, and if you want to continue being fat, lazy, broke, and miserable, then don't respond. But if you want to grow and you're tired of your current situation, you are responsible for your own happiness. But save this date here in Tampa, April 14th through the 16th. They have events all over, throughout the year in Dallas, but this one is close to me. If you do come, I will personally meet you. I'll personally shake your hand and hug you. I'll personally help you through the actual event. So if you want to meet me and you want to go through the pain, I promise, you have my word, I will meet you April 14th, 16th. I will be there, and a lot of my brothers will be there, and we're going to watch you grow. And that's my word. So go there. It doesn't matter how young you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. My father was 71 years old, and he went through the refinery process. You are being refined into a new man. It's not just a 3-day event and you're gone. It's a 3-day event with accountability, and there's check-ins, and there's other men that are wanting you to grow. So go there, and I really feel that it's going to be amazing for you. So with that being said, guys, I'm excited to be in this walk and to fight with you. Please give us a call. Let's get your money right. Let's have things ready for you so that we can transform your portfolio. Also, another thing I wanted to ask, our option 4 is going to be updating on our website. It is now 29% if you want a product that's not in the stock market but grows with the index. Right now, one of our companies is offering a 29% bonus. It's guaranteed by the insurance carrier if you qualify. You just got to give us a call, 813-448-3446. So $100,000 goes in. Day one, it starts at $129,000. All the guarantees are backed by the strength of insurance companies. There is a 10% free withdrawal benefit. So if you go over 10%, you will be penalized. You can't access it the first year. And more importantly, there is a fee of 0.95. But if you're looking for a long-term play to grow your asset without the stress of the stock market and typically double your money within 5 to 8 years, then this account is for you. All you got to do is go to CortezWM.com, greenmoneysolutions.com, and click that link below, request information, and my team will reach out to you. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Got to go to church. Love y'all, and we'll talk soon. So how many times have we gotten lost in the minutia of the everyday life? We've gotten fat, we've gotten lazy, we've gotten complacent, not just in our faith, but also our fitness, maybe our finances, maybe our marriage, maybe our family. But we've gotten complacent, and we constantly need to continue to grow. And one of the things I was weak at was in my fitness. As a former athlete, I thought I had it all. My ego got in the way. I'm like, I'll do it later. Up until now, I have been able to focus on my fitness. For those of you who've been following me for 3 or 4 years, you understand that I've gained a lot of weight. I've used the excuse of having 4 kids, a marriage, a business, helping out at church, all these excuses. And I keep putting myself in the back burner. This is deadly. And what I love about this company, what I love about taking ownership, is that GetMeLeanUSA.com has the ability to introduce natural, groundbreaking peptides. What your body demands, what your body needs to release those fat stored cells, to build muscle, to gain your physical being back to where it's naturally supposed to be. We're not talking about big pharma saying we're going to come out with the weight loss drug. We're not talking about losing muscle. We're talking about gaining muscle, gaining your physique back, controlling your appetite, giving you the edge that you need to help you get your body back in check the way God intended it to be, by using his resources with America First products, with America First company that aligns and believes in what you believe in. Introducing GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get in. This is going to be groundbreaking, huge business opportunity, as well as a huge groundbreaking technology that is going to change the landscape. So I know good things before I see it, and I highly recommend you get in. All you got to do is click the link below and get you some fit, get you some lean, and get fit and get lean. This is not going to do everything. Of course, diet and exercise, you continue your walking, continue your protein intake, but man, does it make it a whole lot easier to get in shape. Look at me, I've lost 60 pounds, but this is actually fundamentally a great recipe to get back in shape. And I can personally attest to the amazing effects of this product. So go to getmeleanusa.com. You won't regret it. You can cancel anytime. They're affordable and yet they're effective. And you are supporting our show. You're supporting yourself. You're supporting a mission. There is an affiliate program attached to it if you would want to share it with your friends and family. There's a whole nother opportunity there. But more importantly, let's get your fitness back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out.